Viewer discretion is advised.
I was trying to tell my dad, everything's in here. You didn't have to go search out there on the streets for love. It was in you, bro.
Mandate.
Welcome to Mandate, where we navigate fresh perspectives and nothing's off the table. Tonight's guest hails all the way from Western Sydney, Australia. He is a musician, also a rapping extraordinaire. He's also versatile and very multi-talented. He also does a bit of acting as well. And so the music that you know of him is Man of the Year, Smoking Out, Devil Don't Quit. Please put your hands together for the man himself, the illustrious Biggs 685.
Baby! Nah, shout out to Mandate podcast for having us, Uso. I can't wait. Man. It's a big pleasure, big honor. So let's go, Uso.
Oh man, thank you so much, Uso. Hey, and also just a quick mention of Poetik's co-hosting as well tonight. So thank you, Uso, for bringing the boys in tonight. And so yeah, hands together.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not even nervous. It's all good.
But hey, Uso, Biggs, thank you once again, Uso, for coming in. I know you guys are very busy as well, and I know you guys have a real tight schedule. But also, I thought we just before we get into the more nitty gritty stuff, also because one of the things I wanted to ask you is the passion, the drive in terms of rapping and music, and I wanted to kind of understand the whole kind of backstory or backstory in terms of how you got into the music game and rapping also.
Damn. That's loaded question. So how I got into it, man, it was my escape. Honestly, if I could put it, like I was even telling my old man the other night, he was asking me, why do you do it? Or why do you do that? I was like, I was so angry with you, I couldn't talk to anybody. You know what I mean? I had that problem with like holding everything in until it was like a kettle. And so when the kettle whistled, man, it just put me to my rap because I was lost, I was sad. So the acting and the music have been like my saving grace. You know what I mean? So that's why I do it. I stay doing it. I can't picture my life without it.
Wow, man.
So, yeah, man. If anything, this is what keeps me alive. Also. So,
wow, man. Also. And so music was kind of like, I guess, in a kind of packaged way in terms of kind of like a savior for you in terms of what was happening for you internally also.
100% also. Like,
wow.
It's my best friend, hip hop. Like, every time I had a problem or issue, like I would just go walk into some bridge and play something in the dark, and it'll always be like the old school, Wu-Tang, UGK, Tupac, Biggie, all of them. But I needed that so I can go home and sleep and then start the next day. You know what I mean? So,
that's cool. It's interesting, Biggs, because a lot of you hear other artists out there, other rappers or musicians say, "Hey, the music was kind of like their saving grace," and putting words on paper and so forth. And and so for you, so because it seems like because a lot of people maybe want to be a rapper or be a musician, and some guys are probably not even good at it. But did you know you're actually good at it? You're like, man, I'm really good at this this rapping game with the music.
Oh man, I cringed with my first video. Also, the first video I ever put on Facebook for freestyle archery, like, and that's my dear brother who recorded it. He was the one that used to egg me on and rap. You know what I mean, Alan? Because me and him worshipped hip hop. So,
R.I.P. Uso.
Yeah, man, straight. Thank you, Trey. Rest in peace, Lengy. I love you. Still going for you. So, I think the minute I knew I was really good was when I was doing like public events for like community events in Sydney, and then when I started freestyling, like say what me and Alan practiced at home in Melbourne. Before, I left to go back to Sydney, when I started hitting up the freestyles, I was just like, man, people were like, can you do that again? Can you come here? Or can you, what's your schedule like? Because like, yeah, man, because I used to just freestyle in front of my homies. So doing that's what opened the world. Like I started meeting people, and then for me, I was just like one of those kids, I just want to rap. Like, just put me in front of a microphone, I'll compromise, I just want to rap. So when people started putting me in like situations where I can go record some music, that's when I knew, hey, I got something. I can go somewhere here. You know what I mean? So yeah.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool.
Damn. Well, what do you think it is about music that makes it such a saving grace for you in terms of some of the things that you've been through, and was music sort of something that ran in the family in terms of being musical that way, or did you 100% just have to pick it up yourself?
I had to pick it up myself because I got turned on hip hop by my dad's baby brother. I think I was talking to Big Birds the other day. Because New Zealand was where I got exposed to it in my nana's house. Rest in peace, Maria. Love you, Nana. And my dad's baby brother and his white best friend, Uncle, basically a Samoan now, adopted by us, they really put me onto it. So if anything, they gave me something to be free with when I moved to Australia. So yeah, man, like it's loaded, bro. Because yeah, that's a loaded question. Like so much has happened since I've started. Like I can't pinpoint anything. Like yeah, it's.
Well, how long has it been since you've been making music?
Professionally getting recorded, man, I would say from 2016, 2017. So I haven't been doing it, like recording my voice that long, like per se, but rapping, like trying to rap and putting pen to paper, it's been a part of my life, my whole life. So hip hop culture, like I said, back to my uncles and stuff, they exposed me not to just rap, but they exposed me to all the elements of hip hop. So they used to take me to the breakdance meetups at the youth centers. So if I was caught my uncle Falangi tagging or graffiti, okay, can you teach me that? And he'll be like, aye. And then my Falangi Uncle Ponga will come and say, come here, my boy. So they came to our video shoot the other night we had with Victor. And yeah, just see my Uncle Ponga just pull up like out of nowhere, big brother. Yeah, with my baby cousin. And he just watched from afar. Because he had to go Mahi the next morning at like 4 a.m., but he just wanted to catch it in effect. And yeah, like seeing that, it just goes to show hip-hop was meant to be given to me. So, yeah, like I said, bro, no hip-hop, bro, no bigs, straight up.
You sound solidified with that, like you really believe it.
Yeah.
Like there's no doubt in your mind, like hip-hop has saved your life or put you on a different path that will give you, a safe zone. I got to go back to you, if you guys don't mind. I'm gonna ask you your first statement. You said hip hop and music was your escape. Is it still your escape now, all these years later, or do you feel like it's giving you a place to put your feet on the ground, and now you don't gotta escape? Now it's like I'm good, and now I'm out here with the voice, and I'm flying the flag for the people. Like, how do you feel now at this point in your journey?
Yeah, like you said, bro, it's not an escape. It's still like it makes you feel free, but now now that you're doing it, and you can connect to people, like. It's purpose now. You know what I mean? I know I can touch and reach a lot of people. And whoever gets a hold of it, if they like it or not, like, it's up to you. But all I know now is like you said, bro, I know I'm doing something serious now. You know what I mean? It's not just escaping anymore. It's also just moving forward and trying to bring, like we say, trying to bring the whole mu'u with us. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's right.
Short tree.
That's awesome. Hey, because I love that you say that it's purpose now, and I love that the fact that you're saying, hey, it's about not just you, Biggs, but the whole ngu'u, the whole village, the whole your whole people. And I love it because a lot of even more so in terms of our men, Pacifica or Māori men, like we struggle in terms of finding purpose sometimes, and sometimes our purpose we feel like this is our purpose, and it can be quite negative. But you guys, in terms of the rap game, man, you're taking it to a whole new level. Man. And you're making us proud, man. To be honest, also, you're making us proud, man. Like all the hummels and all our PI brothers and sisters, like, man, if Biggs can do it, if Poetik can do it, man, I want to follow that. And it's real positive, real positive vibes. But the one thing I gotta ask you is also, that's just that voice, man. That just that distinctive voice. It was like, man, it's just banging. We're like, man, who's this guy? Who's this cat, man? Like,
I respect that, also appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
and it's the love too. Yeah, everyone just go, Sikiano, Leos.
Yeah,
man. Nah, but short also. Appreciate it. And that's what I think that's what me and Poetik and like Ragga and all that, like this is what the thing, Into the Real family, I think that's where our heart is. Our facul's all trying to like, progress, man. Not on that, give me. Nah, man, that's all about, givers and takers. Which one do you want to be?
Man, that's cool. And I love the hustle. The hustle is not about just me. The hustle is about everyone. Everyone kind of gets involved. Everyone gets a part of it, and everyone prospers from the whole process.
Yeah.
And so with the rap game, and also, what's been some of the highs? Like obviously there's several highs and there's lows. But what's for you in this moment? What's one of the highs in terms of the music you've been doing?
When the girls hit me up, now I'm joking.
baby.
No, I'm joking. No,
Use my phone.
Nah, man.
That is this, honestly, yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
What a king guy.
Nah, the highest is I'll be honest, from a personal perspective, the high is knowing that I can feed my family and earn something through this now. Yeah. I didn't have that luxury before. You know what I mean? To just see that my daughter can go do things off the strength of what daddy does, that's what it's for. And that's my high. My highs are different to other people's highs. I'm not trying to say, yo, you know, like beat your chest and King Kong or something. Nah, my highs are just family based. If they're happy, I'm happy. Like, if anybody around me happy, I'm happy. It's a like the state of mind for my team. If they're happy, I'm happy. I just can't. Yeah, man, for me, that's a high, bro. The high is all of us elevating and getting there, man. Straight out. Straight out.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was going to ask about the sort of, you talked about making the leap to being professionally recording in about 2016, 2017.
Right.
Was it tricky in terms of making that leap, or were there challenges in terms of like although you've been doing this your whole life and you know you're confident where you're at, but just having to take that level up step, like how was that for you?
Man, I was honestly, Barry, when I first started writing, Barry, everyone's like, Barry, too many bars, can you stop and structure your and I'm like, oh, is that too much? Because you know the 16 is, you know the 8 is, and I'm like looking at him. I'm just a freestyler. I always should like
72 bars, huh?
Yeah.
72, 84 bars.
100 bars and running. Nah, man. Honestly, just learned. I was lucky. You know what I mean? I really do believe God had His hand on this journey, because I met people along the way that was willing to learn, willing to go out their way and show me how to do this properly. Because honestly, I'm one of those kids. I got a dream, but I don't know what to do again. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, God was really good in that sense. Like, He really put people in my life to help me elevate, help me go somewhere. Like you said, that's how I knew, like, I'm doing something with purpose, man. It's going, and the more people I meet, like, man, it's beautiful, because you definitely come across people that were willing to fill your cup as well. You know, where you're empty or where you're half. Like I said with the Uso Raga, we always try to go out with a cup half full. You know, don't always try and act like you know everything, because we don't. But I'm always that little Uso. Like, I always want to take the best of everything that someone gives me, because I know it will help me build what I got to do, but still give back at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I still feel like I'm nowhere near also what I got to do, but now that I'm learning all the right things, you know what I'm saying? I definitely know I could do some damage, like community-wise, 5 years from now. So that's my goal now.
Yeah, man. That's also. And I love the confidence. I love the confidence also. Because, you know, sometimes we can be quite, you know, the humility, like, oh, we kind of keep it on the down low, but I love the confidence. And there's nothing arrogant about it, Biggs. It's confident because you believe in your skill, you believe in your talent, and you believe in what you're doing in terms of purpose and the music also. Yep. And so I'm just wondering as well also, because it seems like the Australian scene in Australia, the music and the hip hop and the drill scene is kind of is popping up now.
Oh, it's just pop now. It's pop music, you know.
And so I'm just wondering, what's the with drill and all that? Because you guys kind of like, what's your kind of scope on the drill scene and all that kind of stuff?
I mean, I can't even pry, bro, because I got homies that do that. Like, they're in the drill scene. So for me, it's all love. But I just know I definitely do not fit under that umbrella also. I just definitely know I'm a hip-hop kid, and they know that, but I don't think I'll ever come around, like, or under that umbrella, like they'll classify Biggs as a drill rapper or getting. But yeah, I think the drill, it wasn't, the only reason why I would say it was inevitable in Sydney culture is because Sydney culture before the drill thing music, everyone was dressing like UK. Like, UK was the steez, like bum bags, Stratfords, your TNs, the tracky gears and stuff. Like, honestly, I grew up like that too. So, you know, when I was looking for something as a teenager to fill in my void, I had a mullet too. I had mullet, used to rock them TNs, used to be like I was underage at hardstyle events, you know, that and they're like gab, like, you know what I mean? You see it? Yeah, I used to be a part of all of it.
What was the sound? Sorry?
The K-Red tonight? Nah,
Last chance. You're your last chance, man.
last chance. But yeah, now so I respect it, man. They look like they can feed their families and do good, because you do see some of the Usos pulling back to the hood and give back. So yeah, man, I think it's just people expressing what it is in the neighborhood, how to, you know, from their perspective.
Shout out all the homies on the drill right now, man. All
Stay on your grind.
The Usos out there doing great things for the culture and the people.
Honestly,
I do see some people like throwing a little bit of shade, and the blame starts to go towards them for certain things that are happening.
Yeah,
And I guess
no.
those are hard conversations to have, important ones, but we need to unpack those too.
Yeah, but the thing
Not
is,
saying right now, but you know,
no, Big Bird.
when I leave, you guys talk about it.
He hit it on the nail. It's true. It's just the voice of the ghetto. They're just expressing themselves. You know, every ghetto has their style or steez of how to express themselves. I just think Australia really felt like they can express themselves through drill music. Yeah, because I'll be like honest, when I first came in the game, you remember, everyone still had that, American and flows, if anything. And then sooner or later, everyone just started finding their voice. But me, they always ask me, oh, your accent sound like Tupac, American accent. But me, I come in the way I come in. That's how I go. You know, for the SYD, I only did that just to give it up to my city. You know, I can rap like that too, but at the end of the day, I'm still gonna stay me. You know, so drill is drill, but yeah, I got Usos in the game that's doing that. So you know, they're just expressing their perspective for their neighborhoods and stuff. So I can't. Yeah, it's all I look for. All I know is that we all from this. I know that at the end of the day, our fakus, I know we all do it for our family. Yeah. So I can understand. So, but it's taking over. It's pop now. It's the wave now. It's the vibe. But yeah, you're gonna still catch like our flavor, means like Poetik's flavor, or Usos likewise, like Marv's and stuff, still keeping with their old school style. So yeah, man.
Yeah, shout out Mars one time, man.
That's my ropa right there. Shout out to the 6'8" Deuce.
Cook Islands, most definitely.
Yeah, man. So,
Awesome.
Sorry, but yeah, that was a loaded question.
No,
it was a short question,
that was
but
cool,
man,
man.
everything was coming in my head. And
Just
I'm
drink some more. We'd like to thank our sponsors now.
My little bro, yeah, Big Bird Bears, the Toko record that behind. Yeah.
Shout out Charles that couldn't make it. We love you, bro.
Poor Charles.
You're here in spirit, man.
Shuttles, man, that's really interesting. You mentioned something there about sort of knowing your umbrella, and I think for a lot of us men who are still trying to find our way, sometimes we want a bit of everything because we don't know where we sort of stand.
100%.
So I feel like even just knowing where you stand and knowing what your umbrella is, like, man, that's a massive accomplishment, because there's still a lot of us still wondering, myself being one of them. So I think it's cool that you're able to recognize that. But I mean, how important is it, and what's some advice that you can give to other men out there that are trying to find their lane, where they can just thrive and prosper and be able to give back to their family or to the community?
You want to answer, Poe, or?
Nah, G, that's you.
He's cursed.
I'm with you. You know,
What was the last bit of that question, Mosu?
Like just being able to, what's some advice for being able to find your own lane or your own umbrella?
Yeah. I think it's just constant reminder, like, start falling in love with who you see in the mirror, man. Yeah, we love everybody around us, take care of us, but you don't love that dude in front of the mirror. So start giving that guy a little bit more respect, a little bit more, like, know where you come from. Like, yeah, Raga said something to me. You know, if you don't know where you come from, how do you know where you're going?
bang.
That's the thing. Like, we tend to look at other things for validation or things outside our circumstance externally, trying to be who we are. Nah, it's right in front of you. You know? And that's the thing I want to always tell people when they feel lost about how they feel. I go, remember, God took his time on you. You know what I mean? God took his time on you. So please, you're here for a purpose. Don't think you're any less. Any man or any woman trying to make you feel less, man, there's something wrong with them that's trying to put you down to that level. We are all people, man. Like, that's what we're starting to forget. And I get what you mean saying, like, always trying to fill or find a void. it's right there in front of you. So until you start loving who you see and wake up and go brush your teeth and go to the toilet and wash your hand, till you see that face and start respecting that face a little more and start building yourself up, bro. Everything, like I said, I was trying to tell my dad, everything's in here. You didn't have to go search out there on the streets for love. It was in you, bro. You just forgot that. You weren't shown that. And I was blessed because I had my mother. My mother's the reason why I got a lot of knowledge of self and have this deep self-respect. I think that's why I don't tend to make such a thin line between love and hate between my people, because I do understand like what surrounds our community. So also, like, if anybody's trying to find who they are, man, it's in you, man. You just gotta wake it up. You know, the greatness is in you, sonny. And Sunga, or whoever's listening, you know what I'm saying? It's all in. Don't have to go yeah, it's not a Lord of the Rings go take, you know, Sam and Frodo to more. Nah, it's easy. It's easy if you make it easy. You know what I'm saying? So yes.
Yeah, mano love also. Hey, that's really encouraging, and that's really impactful and powerful also. For because it really is in terms of you saying, hey, look in the mirror, because you know sometimes it's kind of quite cliche. Oh, look in the mirror, but you're right. I think there's a lot of us don't really see the inner beauty or the inner strength of who we are as a people or as a person, as an individual. And for you to say that, because it really resonates, because I think a lot of our men, a lot of our people find it real hard, because you're right. We're looking for all these other high and low, all these solutions and love, like you were saying, and all the wrong places. But it's something that's embedded in us, and as a people, there's a lot of strength in us.
Right.
And so for you to say that, and for you to put pen on paper and just write these things and your own experiences also, it's just, I can imagine you would have been through a lot of hard times as well, also.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if we can
we can take it there.
Yeah, if we can go down there.
We need to start. We need to make this normal. So I'm here on my mandate.
Cool, man. Oh man, awesome.
Let it all out, bro.
Yeah, awesome.
Let it all out.
So like I guess we can start like from the beginning also, in terms of, you mentioned early on, and in terms there was some hardship in the beginning. So what were some of the things that you had to go through or navigate yourself in terms of finding who you are now?
Yeah.
In the early days also.
Nah, man, it's like I said, I'm only speaking from experience. Like I said, you know, going out there to find your love, man. That's the thing. You know, they say your parents is next to God. And for me, when I was trying to like be ignorant and blind and silly, stupid, I was ignorant, that's when I broke my mom's heart the most. So for me to stop doing that, that's when I was like, yo. You know, she went through so much trying to make right for me and my sister, and I don't think I ever took the time to thank her enough. Also, I don't think even I was saying when we went to Brisbane, we drove past some of the hardest like places that me and my sister and my mom had, and like it really
by chance.
Yeah, by chance.
We were going to Kmart to get a belt and some cigarettes or something, and this guy was like, "Wait, this is my street."
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Poetik. No, it was heavy.
Almost crashed the car. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, because I think the hardships make the music. You know what I mean? I can't rap like this without the hardships, man. But I think it all transcends from mom. Like, I don't know, bro. It's just my hardships living with mom. I've learned everything from my mom. She's my biggest teacher, you know. My sister's my biggest, you know, the one that you need that always to put a smile on your face. My sister's the funniest person I know. You know, she makes me laugh, and she's her brother's keeper. But we went through so many traumatic things together, us three, you know what I mean? And I think it's the house that made the music. Yeah, you see it and it's like, damn, Big's got a lot of hard stuff, like in my solo catalog. But that's the only way I can talk about what happened. It's not like I can just go to mom or go to dad, okay, you know what I mean? It's not that time. Just throw it out. But yeah, the hardships, man, there's a lot that went through, man. Like if I could say, you know, I went through like some shit that we just don't ever want to talk about.
Because we're too gangster to talk about that shit. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And man, I know. We went through some shit.
Straight, Trey.
And to normalize that, it's like, it feels like it's putting a target on your back too.
It is. Because, you're going to be that, like, you know, we're boat rockers. when we try and shake and break like stigmas off us. And it's hard to look at someone that's doing it with so much fearlessness. I think that's what scares the men in our communities. Like, fuck, this guy's calling and putting it, you know what I'm saying? How we put in our music and really show it. Like, but that's what I'm saying. We have to normalize like start breaking, because just remember, the kids look at us. They're not looking outside. They're looking at us. So, and I could say too, the way I was silly when I was young, because I was looking at what was around me, but I wasn't that kid that was smart enough to take the best out of everything. I just took it on and just rolled with it. And then I could say clearly, probably when I turned 20, 21, I'm 28 now. So I could say, look in the mirror and say, I am a man. I am a man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think I was a man before, but now I can say in the mirror, like, confidently, the music was pain, but the way I'm living, I'm turning into sunshine. That's how we do it. Yeah. And that's if whatever you want to talk about from the past, you hear me with the question, I'll let it out.
Bro, you know how you say, I am a man, looking in the mirror now. Let's rewind back a bit. So let's talk about when you started rapping. Let's talk about when you started falling in love with hip hop in them days, coming to terms with the abuse, the abandonment, the trauma that you went through as a kid, on your own, trying to figure that out in your mind as a man and as a young Uso, growing up. How did it feel to come to terms with that? Like, did you feel like a man when you were identifying what really went down in your past?
Yeah, because that was the first time I let my soul speak, big bro. Like, I just buried it and buried it and buried it. But I was doing things that my mother never raised me to be. You know,
just wild, huh?
I was becoming everything my family didn't want, and it was affecting my family, bro. So when I started seeing that, I was like, nah, man, this is not what we did this for, man. We're going backwards because of me. So for me to be a man about it and start changing and calling out my own shit and fucking calling out my own flaws and putting myself in position to fix it, yeah. Like,
do you mean like
men now?
Do you mean like just getting caught up in the darkness, like running them streets and going to places you shouldn't be and doing crazy shit?
Yeah, exactly, Archery. Being around things that I was never meant to be around. Things that my mother like looked at me and because remember, bro, I was when I was in and out of the trouble with the law, no one was there for me but my mom. Like, I didn't call for the boys. That's not their problem. They didn't make it. I didn't call anybody else, but the only one who was adamant on there every day and hugging me as soon as the cops take the cuffs on me, it's my mom, bro. So what am I doing? What did making these people happy, what did that do? It broke the person who gave me life. And that's when I had to change. Like that for me, so that's when the started changed. And I could say, honestly, that only started happening before I came out with my story. So it was a long journey. I didn't probably wake up, like we say, 2021, 22, that's when I started waking up. But yeah, man,
because you put it out there, huh? Through the music.
I'll put it up, yeah. I'll
social
talk about
media
it.
platforms.
Very evident.
In the cordial space between homies, you really break it down and you go, hey, and you're not afraid to say, I went through this, or if the homies say that, he went through that, you go, hey, me too, so.
Yeah.
Like, we all still here, we still standing.
But I could have held on to that, you know what I mean? I could have held on to that, like,
and buried it and act like it never happened.
And then
and we can't fix these things.
Yeah.
Because it's a reoccurrence, and I didn't realize how common it was. Yeah. And I didn't realize it went back to my grandma and before. And it's been happening for over 100 years.
It's a serious thing we need to start, like, fucking analyzing and facing and fixing.
And
like,
stop it now.
It's a time of healing for our people now. Like, all of them secrets that used to poison us and break us, now we got to start being like, nah, if we're really going to be them kind of people, let's move up now. Like, yeah. And even saying, like, all the streets and stuff and all that, I will never going to be that guy, ikisui or langa and then go spit on the street. No. You can never be like that. I see a couple Usos, they'll find God and then like their lifestyle, because they were
some of them.
It shouldn't be like that. We have to understand, like, you know, not everyone is the same, and carry that respect everywhere. But if the Usos feel like, bro, it's all love. It's all love. Like, you're still brown, you know, you're still my Uso. Like, if we don't have to walk the same paths, man. Everyone's got their own journey. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
That's awesome.
Jeez.
And there's something I'm a little bit curious. I mean, there's a couple of things I'm curious about. One of them, I know Poetik, you sort of talked about the history of it, and I know something you've mentioned in the past is about blackbirding, and that sort of that aspect of it. So I'm curious to hear your take on that. But something, and it seems a bit personal to ask about, but I know it's something that I think is it's of personal interest for me, but I know that there's a lot of men out there that probably have similar issues, but that was in terms of the issues of abandonment. And I know that can stick with you for a very long time, and it's not one of those things that like you just solve it once and it's gone. It's a recurring thing where you have your days where it just plays on your mind. So I'm a little bit curious to jump into that if you don't mind.
We could do that. Abandonment in terms of
whatever that looks like from your scope.
Abandonment, damn.
So I think
no, honest, like that's what I'm saying. I had the best of both worlds. Like my dad, like completely other side of the line, and then my mom, Angel. So I was blessed to have that. But if I reckon if I had the abandonment on both sides, man, who would have known what me and my sister would have turned out to be? Like me and her always said that if we didn't have mom's love, or, she always stayed with us. Even when the system was trying to break us together, like, because of violence in the house, alcoholism, all of that shit, the government, the system were really trying to separate me and my sister from my mom. And, that that's why I say I have to give it up to mom, bro, because she's the reason why we didn't feel the full abandonment thing. Because trust me, man, you could only imagine, right? You could only imagine. But in terms of abandonment from my father's point of view, like needing my father, I needed my dad. I really did need my dad. I needed that person to build my self-esteem. But that's the thing, like we said, men carry on that trauma. They don't know how to give that love to their son, So they just throw everything under the bus. Like, everything I did wasn't good enough for my pops, man. I could have been a rugby player. I'll be honest, man. I was a good rugby player. I could have been a good rugby player, but my dad, I don't know. Everything I did wasn't good enough. My self-esteem was in the dirt. So, and having mom trying to fight that and build me back up, that's what I'm saying. Like, I owe it all to the women in my life, like the way I came out. Like, if I didn't have my mom or my sister, or that love for them to, always be there for them and be the man of the house at such a young age. It's a responsibility no young kids should have, but it builds the character. It builds their child, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, abandonment, but I took it in a way where I took it on the chin and just rolled. But yeah, and now I'm just talking to my father. We're just starting to understand each other. Now, learning about his life and upbringing, I could understand. You know what I mean? I'll be honest, bro. He probably had more demons than I'm fighting, than I had to fight. My dad's demons. I've only heard a couple of them, like a couple of nights ago, from my auntie who flew in for the funeral and all that. It shook me, bro. It made me cry. And I understand why my dad and my uncle Faku, who I worshipped as a kid, why they became the way they were. And yeah, and it was the same thing. My auntie said, abandonment. They were abandoned by their fathers, and not even that, being treated like dirt. Like they were the siblings that got treated like shit. My dad's family. So I think that he held that, and he just that's what I'm saying. I think that's why he came at me like everything I did wasn't good enough, because maybe that was his life. Maybe everything they did wasn't good enough. No one, you know what I mean? So them getting treated like dirt, it was the only reason why me and my cousins got raised harsh. We have different stories, me and my first cousins, but it all stems from pain, like the way we were raised. And yeah, they understand that. But yeah, abandonment's heavy in our community, man. You see fathers, leave and then go face this sister. Yeah.
The way the system's set up is to divide too. You were growing up in the 90s and the 2000s, and between here and Australia's got a known history, documented history of separating families, especially people of color.
Really
and there was no leniency towards Pacific Islanders. They still do that to this day. Instead of fixing problems in the home that they helped to create, they just come through and separate people. And this is a big thing with our people, just people of color in general, living in these societies where we're from.
Yeah.
And where we get with the activities, and look around at destitution and everything, man. It's like, how can you want more when you can't see it in front of you? Because what's right in front of you is the trauma that's killing you. And you're 4 years old, you're 7, you're 8 years old.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody there to show you how to be, be a man or be a woman or, however we're supposed to be at the time. I feel like I can resonate with a lot of what you're saying. I know you personally, but when I hear you speak on this mic and speak, yeah, I feel like a lot of good people out there might be able to understand, and I hope it helps whoever watches. Are we trying to normalize talking about this shit?
Yeah, man, for sure.
Excuse my language, sis. My bad.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
For
Yes.
sure.
Oh, sorry, sis. She's like that.
My bad.
Machiavelli, not that.
We gotta normalize not cursing in front of our sisters anymore. My bad.
Nah, real. But honestly, this was exactly what Big Bird said. We need. It's not like let's all. You know what I mean? Like how people look at bunch of grown men crying. Okay, nah, that's what's wrong with you. That is what's wrong with you. That's how you can say you're not a man. You're not a man, bro. Men cry. Men build their families. Men go home and build futures. But you even here, you being immature and just going Yellowstone, and then what? What do you get? I reckon those people that first stones, they go back home and feel even worse. There's something inside them, man. That's what I said. Love conquers all. Love conquers all. My mom, yeah, I'm sorry, bro. You talk about my mom, but I love that woman because I wouldn't be here. Like, she's legit. The definition of love can conquer. Love can change everything. And that's what she was trying to give to my dad. 3 years of the abuse that she put up with him. She just wanted him to change. She was willing to, and I know this is not just one, this is all our mom, all our aunties, all our sisters, all our cousins. They all go through that, staying with their man, trying to hope he change. My dad just couldn't fight, couldn't win against the demons. So that's what drifted them. But my dad understands now is the life that he's living. He understands. He was telling me the other night, I had gold. I had diamonds, son. I'm sorry. Like, he cried. He just asked me, just forgive me. Tell your mom to forgive me. I didn't know what I had. And that's what made me forgive my dad. Because to him to say that, that's big. He's the hardest. Bro, no one scares me but my dad when I was growing up. Like, honestly, I'll go out and people try to act a little staunch and shit. Like, when I was younger, you didn't scare me, bro. Because my dad really, that's what I'm saying. You had the devil's advocate and you had God's angel. Like, that's what I'm saying. And in terms of normalizing what, that's how we change as a people. If we keep staying here, bro, nothing's going to change. Nothing is going to change.
Hey, that conversation with your pops, was it like was it open or was it weird? Or was it, like, was he cool? Like, was he down to talk about the feelings? Because, man,
No.
I know like the old school generation, they're just solid in that, that staunch like
man,
that.
That's like,
There's no like trying to get through that barrier. I was talking to my dad about things like I told you guys last night at the bar. I was talking to my old man. I was like, Dad, man, the way I'm feeling inside, it's just, my whole life and depression and alcoholism and all these things. Dad, this is why and this is what happened. And he looked at me like I was gonna tell him I'm gay or something. He was looking at me like, wait, are you the team now or something?
Yeah, my dad was like that
man.
growing up. Like, because when I started doing the acting stuff, he found that whole thing weird. Because acting is my first love. So when I was trying to do it in front of him, and then he started seeing me. He's like, what is that, son? Like, you know what I mean? And it broke my heart when he used to do that shit. But he didn't know any better. It's just the islander dad being an islander dad. But to talk with my dad, man, probably like one of the hardest things I ever had to do. So because my whole squad, the whole Salelonga family that we have here, basically 80% of them pulled up to Nana's house. So Nana, that's where she died. But yeah, everyone pulled up there. But everyone was worried, like, oh fuck, how is he like a, you know what I mean? But I was like, especially my auntie, his sister that he loves. She's basically his angel, because she's the one that's always staying on my dad, making sure he's healthy or trying to live a normal life. But she goes to me, you need to fix that, son. If you don't fix your, and I love that about the Samoan culture. They have this thing, it's deeper than what we see. You forgive your dad. My auntie said to this, you forgive your dad, watch what happens, Sniff. And she calls me her other son. She goes, watch what happens. You forgive your dad, watch what happens. My boy, things will happen. And I'm like, okay. And it's true. Because even just forgiving him a couple of nights ago, man, I felt like the... sorry. Ooh, yeah, I know which one. Yeah, man, I can't explain it because it was the... Yeah. It was groundbreaking for me. I've never seen him like that, never seen him vulnerable, and never seen him genuinely willing to open up to me. And then he started laying down all the stuff, because me and my dad have not talked since I was a teenager. So me coming back to see him first time and just able to be like, yo. But then everybody in the family saw how we were just talking to each other. Like, I'm good. They were like, you straight, cuz? I'm like, I'm good. You know, your uncle has his ways. It's all good. But when everybody left me with him and I had to babysit him and stuff, or like not babysit him, but just like stay with him the whole night. And I did see some of the stuff that from the old school, you know, but then I'm like, nah, I can handle it. But yeah, my dad, I have to say that's probably the best thing that I had to do. Hardest thing I had to do, but it's the best thing I've done. It's forgiving and coming to terms with everything with my dad, because I think that's why I went that way. And yeah, I think now that we're good and stuff, and bro, that's the first time we laughed at each other, like genuinely. Because he was laughing at me watching, because the video I put up on Instagram, we're watching Honey. And he was like, if you're maka, I'm here. And I'm like, I don't know, one of my favorite movies called Poetik. And he goes, yeah, okay. Lah. But just normal shit like that. Oh, sorry. Normal stuff like that. Trust me, man. If anybody out there doing the same thing that I do it, man. Anybody out there, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Just do it.
You have to do it.
Do it now. No, sorry. Somebody just got me, man.
K-Road. Not
Totally. Not Z.
Nah, you have to do it, man. Trust me, you're doing yourself the biggest service. It's trust me. I feel like a little kid since I did it. Like I'm happier now. Very happy. Even today, we talked normal. And he's like, okay, son. Tell the chick, make sure you come see me first day. I was like, yo, I'll see you there, Dad, I promise. So it's good now. Trying to start. I don't know if you know that show This Is Us. So you know what Randall did for his biological dad? That's basically what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to take him to Australia, fix him up and have him live the rest of his life knowing that there's another side to the way of living. Live happy.
That's right. Man. That's right.
Props, man. Hey,
sorry, man.
So don't apologize, also, man.
Thank you.
Don't apologize at all. So just you sharing that, and that's what it is. We hope that this is a safe space, also, and that you feel safe enough to even share that. Also, yeah. Props to you, man.
I just want to let you know it's an open book, but yeah, man. That I'm telling anybody, any uso that has a problem with trying to fix the past, man, it's going to be the best thing you ever did. It's going to be the best thing you ever did, not just for you, but your own family too. Because you're not a prisoner to what's that, and you're not bringing that to your house. Even my daughter, man, everyone's like, she's my niece biologically. Like me and my sister, we raised her daughter. But she's mine. But the way that she doesn't live a life like that we had growing up. And me and my sister always have a joke. Longer lifestyle, pay for these years for you, man. Everything she needs, she get it. Like, not in a way in terms of spoiling, but we know how to draw the line. We didn't give her what we had, not even an ounce of it. So I love living a life like that. It's the bomb. It's the bomb. So yeah, do it. Free yourselves and free your family, bro.
Man.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can only imagine how that must have felt in terms of sometimes you forget you're carrying a weight until it comes time to talk about it, and then it's like, oh, I don't know, I was carrying all of this baggage. Yeah. So I can only imagine the relief that you felt having that conversation, and even being able to ask questions where, like, I know that situation where you want to ask because you want to know the truth, but you don't know, like, bring up old stuff like, oh, maybe he's past it, and because they're old school, like, you know, they didn't talk about it. So I can relate, man. And big ups to you, bro. That's awesome.
Also, Jay, thank you. Yeah. But I want to say one thing. You know, when I used to like laugh when I was a kid, and I used to like trying to make him laugh with us, he used to do those ones like, donk, So when we told them talk forgive, I did one of those ha 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 ha. Kept looking at him. Are you gonna laugh back? And then he laughed back, and then I'm like, oh, all right, you're right, man. You're human, bro. He's not cold, bro. He's good, man. Yeah. And it's good that we're breaking the older generation, like my dad's generation, like that too. They need it. They just don't know how to get that forgiveness. They need so help them, fix them too. It's hard. It's hard. I hated my dad, and I could tell you, I hated my father. Like the pure definition of that word, hate. I felt that for nobody else but my dad. But now I can't. It's just I only feel love for him now. I just want to help him, fix him, and want him to die happy. I don't want him to die alone, sick. Like we say, Randall and This Is Us, I don't want him to die like that. He deserves to live normal and have like a smile. So yeah, thank you, sir.
Oh man, thank you. So thank you so much for sharing that, because bro, I love what Poetik was saying. We need to normalize this, and it's hard because obviously as Pacific men, and even more so with our older folks, the older generation, man, 100%. It's like it's like piercing a brick wall, man. It's just they won't open up. But for you to say that, because you bring up a good point as well, Biggs, because you said that your dad, was carrying all this stuff and you don't even know, and you wonder why does dad do this? Why does dad act this way? But you don't know what's been happening and what's happened in dad's life, and what's all the mental gymnastics that's happening in his head, and all the hurt and the pain. And we just don't know that. And it's quick for us to judge. This is why they. But we just don't know what's happening in people's lives and what's happened in their lives.
That's when you can start to make sense of it.
Yeah.
When you look and you understand, like, oh, hold on, this is intergenerational. This is before I was even born. This is when he was a kid, or when mom was a young girl, and grandma, grandpa, and so on.
You don't know. Yeah,
like,
that's
it's
it.
passed down. Like I used to think that stuff was just crazy talk. Like you can pass down feelings and trauma. I was like, come on now, pass the blunt. I don't give a damn about this.
Yeah.
Roll up, star. But yeah. I really think that if we can have these conversations and really understand that that's an actual thing, that there's like a scientific something. I didn't watch that documentary, my bad, but I know of how it feels to pass that trauma down, either by performing a certain way in front of the kids, like if you're drinking every day, because I don't allow my kids to come around when we're drinking. Like when the homies and I drink, we drink in the garage or we go to the bar. We're not drinking around the kids like how we saw growing up. I'm trying to get that away from them as best as I can, And it's hard for me to quit drinking because I have these triggers. You got triggers, Zeus?
I got triggers.
Shit that set you off in the morning, and you're like, okay, I want to go and see this person and figure it out. And then after a while, you're like, damn, now I'm just acting a bit, a bit too out of the way of how we're supposed to be acting. When that trauma kicks in, and you're like, damn, it reignites that flame, that anger,
but being
or that
self-aware.
sorrow.
What you're doing, Big Bird, like that's the thing you gotta understand. You're being self-aware about it. Like the thing our urges or our parents, they weren't self-aware. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know any better. Yeah. So I feel you on that, bro. Sorry.
I'm with you, dog. I'm with you. And what are we talking about?
Poetik, and this cool Poetik.
Sorry. I think I said blood, and then I forgot what I was talking about. And that's why we gotta normalize these things, guys.
Yes.
Gosh darn it.
Yes.
I'm supposed to be a fly on the wall, man. My bad.
Nah, watch out. People who elevate after that.
Hey, but it's cool to cry. Like we were talking about this on the way here, right? I never really had a problem with crying in front of the homies, like. And I grew up with Bass, with Tor, with Pat, with all the homies, and like, man, when we broke down as homies. Right. Bass was the only one that never cried because he's solid.
Wow.
Nah, but like Tor and I, we would always like just gungy, like, and we're angry and we're trying to let it out. So it was never like you're not gangster if you cry, or you're a bitch if you cry. It was just like it's like the rain washes away, and you go through that moment, and then you carry on. And if anyone didn't like it or called you, a fag or whatever they used to call us back then for being vulnerable, just fight them.
Yeah.
Just fight them and then see what's up.
I was like that
and they respect you after.
Be fatty.
And I'm not trying to say be violent, but that's what we went through growing up. Right. And I really hope that it's a bit cleaner for our kids, the next generation coming up. So that's why it's up to us here, our generation, because our parents is, they at where they at now. they need to just do their thing and be how they want to be now. Like it's good to have these harsh conversations with mom and dad if we need to fix things. But as far as me, like I'm trying to say, like I'm not trying to stress out the elders no more. I'm like, okay, their generation is where they are, but our generation, it's our time now. So we have to step to the plate and go, okay, look, this is why things are all effed up.
Right.
Let's get to work. Let's fix this. You know, whether it's our community within our gangster world or within the politics or within, you know, music, industry stuff, whatever it is, whatever lane it is, wherever there's that darkness, we can eradicate it together by having these conversations. So we filter out the bullshit. By the time it gets to our kids, it's a lot cleaner than what we grew up in. You know, like I'm not tripping on my childhood was this and that. Like that shit is sale for me. Now I'm like, our kids, my nieces, my nephews, they're gonna have the best.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's the way we have to move on from the.
And all they want is time.
Yeah.
They don't know that they poor. When my son's like, "There's any noodles?" Like, shh, hey, get a job. You know, like they don't know that they're poor. Not like maybe that's the wrong way to say it, but they don't know what's going on in the world. They don't know about bills. They don't know about anything else besides go to school, make your bed, and shit like that. The simple things in life.
Right.
And I like that. I don't want them to know about the trauma and the darkness that we saw growing up. You know, I love that movie Once Warriors, and I think I love it because it's like a reminder of what I went through at that age. You know? And we also idolized Jake because Jake didn't take no shit. And I'm like, damn, that's how you got to be in this world. Until you see Jake the Muslim in real life, Tim was talking about, damn, that's not what I want the young homies to be like.
Right.
And I was like, damn, this is like my hero saying don't be like him. Okay, well, shit.
And that's, even you just saying Jake the Muss, man. What a nail. Like, that's on the nail. Like, my dad, that's the kind of fear it put me. Like, it was Jake the Muss, bro. Like, and he was a hard mother. Like, sorry to say, yeah. Just
He was a hard man.
Dude.
He was a hard man.
You're a hard man, Jake. But yeah, like, that's the thing, man. I think what Trey's doing, like what Big Bird's doing, is that's how we break it. That's how we break it. We just move on and make sure our future generations do not have that reality. And that's how we elevate. That's how we rise. More smiles come into our neighborhood like that. So, yeah. That's it.
Man, you're right. You're right. What you say, Poetik, and Biggs, in terms of the harsh reality that some of us have kind of grown up with, and our parents and all that, and obviously our folks are set in their ways. But I love what you said, Poetik. Also, you said that, hey, I don't drink in front of the kids. I don't want that around the kids. And it's so cool. It's so refreshing because, and it is positive. It is positive because you're saying, hey, we've been through this stuff. We've been through all the crap and all that kind of stuff. I've seen the trauma and all that kind of stuff. But for us, for you to even say, hey, even while the cameras are rolling, it's like, hey, I don't want this for my kids. I want to do this for, I want them to have a better life. And even you touched on the system, and the system can be real cruel, man.
Yeah.
But a real kind of deteriorating a lot of our folks and a lot of our people. But for you guys, and I love it that you guys are, hey, this is the system, but hey, stuff the system. We're going to do that. We're going to do it our way.
Yeah, we'll do it ourselves.
We do it our way. We create our own lane. We're going to help our people the best way that we know that our people would accept.
Right.
And so, man, guys, you guys are rapping, but you guys are spitting facts, just even talking, man.
Nah, man.
It's just crazy that I love the way you guys think, the mindset. But in terms of our men, our young guys, our young men, especially in the rap game now, and some of them are like, yeah, I want to be a gangster, I want to do this and that, I want to shank some people, all that kind of stuff. What are some of the words, or what advice could you give to some of those guys coming up in the rap game or the rap scene? In terms of, hey, that's not the reality. That's something else. What are some of your advice you could give us some of the young men out there, or the guys coming up?
Man, personally, just remember your ancestors, where you come from. Because the quicker you forget that, and the quicker you forget your knowledge of self, bro, like you said, that's going to become the reality. And that's the sad thing too, because they're willing to do it to their own kind before they do it to. Not saying we should go hurt other people. No one should be hurting each other. Yeah, in that way at all.
I hear you, bro. I hear what you're saying.
Why don't we always go at each other first? It's like we don't even give a damn. Like, and what they're doing is worse than what our own kind is doing to us, and we still want to fight against each other. I mean, for my thing is for the youngest, also remember where you come from, Uso. Remember your ancestors, remember your remember your grandmother, remember your granddad. That was someone you country for up there and start a new life for you. She didn't start it for you to go freaking, you know what I'm saying? And that's the harsh reality that my nana tried to shove in my head before she died. There's a lot of sacrifices made for you to have this life that you have, the blessings that you have. That's what I'm saying. So one thing I want to let you guys know, these youngins, the power of your choices, Roos. You have power in every choice you make. Don't ever try and say like you do not have power. You have power in everything you do. You need to start looking at yourself that you have power. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, dudes with low self-esteem or no nothing, how are they going to go out there and build it? You're going to go damn, you know what I'm saying? It's like gone to the point where survival of the fittest or dog eat dog is the state of mind. And I'm like, the thing why I get real passionate is because I grew up on, like, yeah, hip-hop is my stuff, but I grew up on revolutionaries too. And that's the thing that I always go to trade. Like, I grew up on Kupua, like the love Kupua had. That's why I always try to remember, if I got a problem with my own kind, I always give it like a 100-hour rule. People go, what's that mean? Okay. Just see if I feel the same way in 4 days, you know, or the 5 days. Like, you know, there's ways around this. There's ways to act accordingly, man. It's not all cowboys and Indians, young Uso. You can have a great life, but it's all on you. It's all on you. If you think that that's how you get a good life, just prepare, just deal with the consequences like a man, like when it comes to that life. Don't go through it and then you go ruin 20 other people's lives because of, you know, you couldn't handle the consequences. Nah, if you're gonna live that. But young Uso, you can be a king without doing any of that. You can be a king just by helping mom put food on the table. That makes you a king. You working $8, like me, I was working like Hungry Jack's like $4 an hour. Like back in the days, just trying to help mom food on the table, but she loved me for that. That's what I'm saying. You can be a king, but just know that the power of your choices, man, that's what's gonna make you, bro. It's gonna make the difference between whether you're gonna be like my uncles that I grew up, like I could have been like, that's what I'm saying. The choice, if I made my choices like Uncle Faku, I'll just be just like that or even worse. But that's what I'm trying to say. Better choices, man. Better choices, better outcome, bro. There's more to life than just doing that. So you just gotta open your eyes. Open your eyes, man. Sorry, Poetik, but yeah, I had to let them know, man, because that's a loaded question.
Run it.
Because our youngins need the attention. I reckon youngins need more attention than us.
Yeah.
We're men. Like, you know, we can go find our path and stuff, but our youngins, man, that's my stress, man. The youth is what we need to start, you know, youth, like more. Not to the point where you baby them and put like a baby. Nah, not like that. Like, we were talking about this the other day, Poetik, like, that's why I said the big Usos a teacher, like say, you know, that saying, catch a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, but you teach him how to fish, he'll eat for life. And that's what I'm learning from these guys. They're willing to be open to give me the knowledge, but I'm gonna be that Uso to make that choice and be like, yup, I'm gonna take that, bro. Watch what I catch, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it. So that's what I'm saying. We need to start normalizing all of the stuff so the kids can see that there's more to that. Not just see one yeah, man. There's more to life.
That's cool. Man, I'm curious, you sort of mentioned something there in terms of, I'm curious about the importance of having a good inner circle of friends. And sometimes that can come down to having to cut some people out, but other times making sure that you got the right people around and just seeing the boys, you know, your fellas flavor together is awesome. So I'm curious to hear you both talk about the importance of having the right circle with you.
The importance of cutting people out. This guy.
Cutthroat, man. Cutthroat.
I don't think we've ever cut anyone out. I think people just opted to leave, you know, and we just, you know, we wish people the best. Some people don't want to be around. Some people can't. Some people got their own journey, whatever the situation is. I don't think we ever had to really get down and change things like that. Like, I still roll with my day ones. Mm-hmm. I'm still solid in good terms with all my day ones, and I don't plan on changing that. And everybody that comes into our life along the journey, they get us when they roll in the same way they get us when they leave. Real, respectful. We got love. We can laugh. We can joke. If you mess up, we gonna check you on it. and it's not an ego thing. It's just like, hey, don't do that because this is messed up, and I expect you to run the same protocol towards me if I get too, out of hand. Because we all get wild sometimes. A lot of us ain't got no parents to teach us the ways, or we came up a certain way. I can't judge nobody out there doing all the crazy activities that we get up to, who are in poverty or who don't have a family, or the system did this to them, or tragedy changed their life story. I can't pass no judgment on nobody, and I'm far from perfect. But I do know this: God got a plan for everybody, and even if you don't believe in Him or the plan, just don't quit today. Quit tomorrow. Just give it one more shot. Sleep on it. What you talking about?
That's wise, man. That's some wise words.
No, it's important, man. Everyone, because it's a good question also. Because I feel like I see it around too. Like especially my demographic out West Sydney. It's that thing we talk about, blind loyalty. Ignorance, like just being ignorant and be like, yeah, I'll follow you, and then you know what I mean. Fuck it, Nick. Yeah. Like I'm in the hole with you, but you're gonna find ways to just leave me there. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff also. So you just gotta I think you guys were saying, you guys asked you how knowing who's for you and who's not. Also, so that's a good question. But I think in the heart, man, you know what's good for you. People that make you feel good and make you feel like this is what life is all about. That's what you need to be around. If you're around and you just got paranoia and just worried about looking over your shoulder, I don't need to be here, bro. You know what I mean? And that's how I keep my life stress free. It's just keeping like-minded, like-spirited people around me. Because I know, like, I'm one of them. I was that kind of dude growing up. If I was around them, I would do it times 5. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Learning how to be a man in control, be the master of your emotions, bro. We didn't act out like that, but bro. It's very important that you got people around you that really, that love you. Like genuinely care for you, love you. Not just look you in the eye and go, yeah, brother. But really, the minute you turn your back, you know what I mean? Like, male fuck being like, that's real love. Like, man, people that really love you are gonna stay around you and really just want the best for you. People who just want to use you and just abuse you and just drain you. All you gotta do is go look in the mirror and ask yourself, fuck, am I happy here? And not. You know what I mean? So it's good. That's the importance of, from my perspective, man. Like, thank you, bro. That's a good question. It's a really good question.
And it is, totally 100% also in terms of being in an environment where you thrive. Everyone kind of thrives. Everyone is just the energy and the vibe.
Right.
And like you said, Poetik, you were saying in terms of, you don't have to cut anyone out. Then people just kind of left. And I think when you can get to a place where you're actually following your dreams, your purpose, people are like, I'm not into that vibe, but you don't have to see you later. Right. They just kind of drop off. And because you guys are in the public and you guys are public figures, how in terms of how do you guys keep yourselves grounded? Because I know there's people out there who in the rap game and other stuff and who are public figures, but how is it in terms of, because some people mess up. And there's in terms of hypocrisy, like, I'm this, they say I'm this and that, and then they end up doing something else. How do you guys maintain that kind of just the authenticity and say, hey, this is who I am, this is who I am going to be? Yeah, I'll mess up, but in terms of hypocrisy, there's no hypocrisy here. I'm 100% who I am. Yeah. How do you guys manage that? Or how do you kind of keep yourselves grounded?
Oh, man, I hear what you're saying, but I kind of can't understand it. If that makes sense, like. I don't know how any other way to be.
Nice.
Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's who you are. That's who you are.
Like what you're saying is, it's there, it's painted, it's clear, but I don't understand the other side of not being grounded.
That's cool, man.
Unless I'm high, well then shit. I'm an astronaut in this, But I mean, and I guess maybe if I was to say something, so we got Ragged over here, we got Bass over here, like. I think surrounding yourself with real individuals is what caters to how you live. So if you got somebody that's going to check you, that's going to hug you, that's going to be there for you in your times of need, that's going to laugh with you, cry with you, hustle with you, and grow old with you as your brother, as your sister, then you straight. And that's God's people. That's God's plan.
Yeah.
Like all the good people in my life, I didn't ask God for them. God gave them. So I don't know how else to stay grounded. But like, I feel like if I mess up, man, I'm failing all the homies.
Yeah.
So after this, we're just gonna go to town, man. Like I'm already lit. I'm ready to roll, man.
Portland's
This is soon and time to go. Portland's be on the way. We need the sponsorship. I told you, don't give me no my man. Come on now.
Nah, I love that question. I mean, from my personal perspective, the only way I stay grounded, like you said, hypocrisy and stuff. Nah, man, just be authentically you. If you're honest, man, can never get caught out like that. I mean, from my perspective, man, I've always, like, even from my personal perspective, it could be like, bigs outspoken, bigs out this, bigs out that, bigs out, because I've lived that, but I'm not gonna be that kind of dude to just not be me. I'm always been authentically me, whether you liked it or you didn't. And I've done things on like online, you know, you be like express
what
yourself,
kind of things
but people
online, bro?
take it like in the wrong way. Like, God, I am scared of this man. Like, I'll never come like that. I'm just stating how I live my everyday life, man. And I think that's what Bird was saying. What stays here. What goes, man. But I will never change, bro. If anything, the only change that comes, man, that I change for the better. That's the only change that comes from me. But I feel you on that hypocrisy stuff and the one thing and another and stuff. Cause just like I think one of the biggest things that Bass has ever told me, I don't think Bass tells me like if he can record us, but I've met him like I think same time I met Trey, like 4 or 5 years ago. But I think one of the things that really hit me from Bass is like, just keep it real, bro. Just stay you. It might be simple as hell to you, but that's life to me. And that's why I think, like, live accordingly to that, man. Just be authentically you, bro. That's why I get you, so, like, you know. But, yeah, being grounded, family, bro. Love keeps me grounded. Love.
Models. Jay.
Love, I heard so many things. Sorry, man. Star, we singing tonight, Star. I'm on the level. Ducks, I'm on the level now.
Ah, man, thank you guys, because you guys are asking the right kind of questions to, like, and I do think, man, hey, if people out there, like, looking for kind of answers to these questions, damn, you got 2 unfiltered Usos here, you're about to get another 2, it's going down, bro, like, it's authentic as it can get, bro.
Yeah, man.
And not possible without God.
And that's why we appreciate it also. Because, you know, I think in the past, you know, for us to even speak or express some of our feelings, not really, and you don't feel safe. But for you guys to come out tonight and just feel safe and just talk about some of the stuff, some real heartbreaking stuff as well, and some real trauma. And, bro, for you guys to change the narrative for yourselves and say, hey, we don't have to live that way. Regardless of the system, hey, we can break the system. This is how we're going to do it for ourselves. And I love the positivity around the things that you do. You, Poetik, Bass, and Reggae, all those things that you guys are doing. And I love it that you guys surround yourself, like you're saying also, I don't know how to be any other way. That's just who I am. And it's just straight 100%, like, this is who I am. Whether they like it or love it, it's just the way it is. And so, guys, man, I think what you guys do in terms of people see you guys out in public, but also in your music on YouTube and all that.
Right.
But for you guys to share those things, I think the viewers gonna, man, I don't know that about Poetik, I don't know that about Biggs, and it just brings so much more in terms of peeling all the other stuff that people don't see, because people don't really see that. Yeah, he's a gangster rapper. Oh, it's a rapper, but they don't see like, there's some real depth.
There's a mind behind it. There's an actual human being behind what's being said. I think that's I love that you said that, Uso. Because we need to start understanding that. Yeah. It's not just some dudes like, No, there's a sharp mind. There's a soul that's weathered many storms behind those lyrics, sir.
Yeah, thank you, man. 100%. 100%. And you guys, man, are some very clever cats, man. Very clever cats, man. The mindset you guys bring is like, who sucks? Because you hear somebody like, it's just bars. No one can do what you guys are doing, man. I can guarantee you that, man. People can say, I can do that. I can jump onto the mic. But to do this, what you guys do, and to do it longevity, and to do it with passion and purpose, bro. Because some people, just 1 year out of the game. But you guys, man, longevity, which tells us it's purpose, passion, and you love what you guys are doing. And that's what our men need to see. Like, man, like I said before, early on, if Poetik's doing a big man, I love the mindset. I want to do that, man. Right. And you're inspiring a lot of our men out there and a lot of our people.
Right.
So kudos to you guys, man. My Lord, lovely soy for usos. Jay, you got anything before we kind of wrap up?
Yeah. I was just thinking back through the conversation about something that's come. Looking at the overall picture is the importance of like grinding for your legacy. And so I'm a little bit curious. The final question for me is, at the end of the day, whether it's in music or outside of music, what do you want to be remembered for? What will be your legacy?
Last chance. I was gonna try and be funny, but man, my jokes are dry, man.
You fire him off.
I was gonna say something, man, but you go first. You go first.
I mean, legacy was. I think I said this to a podcast in Sydney. Shout out to Uso Table. I feel that kind of same energy with you. So I said, man, I just wanted to be remembered as someone who who gave a shit. That's it. I don't want any other accolade, no Oscar winner, a Grammy, nah. Someone who gave a shit, man. That's it.
Yo.
That's it.
Got you. That's
Put that on my tombstone, please. No.
Yeah, man. All I want on my tombstone is a bottle of Alima and 685. I'm good, man. Like shit. I don't. What was the question? How do we want to be remembered or a legacy?
Yeah.
I don't really want to be remembered by. I don't. It's not that I don't want to. I'm not too bothered. Thankful to you guys. Remember it. Don't forget me, guys.
man, never.
Yes, I never really thought of it like that. If anything, my legacy and the legacy of my homies that I want for us is our children. Rega, what's that line? You had that bar, dog, and the bar was like trying to get my grandkids a plate. Star. See, people don't know this. If you don't know this, you're sleeping, because Star's a better rapper than me. For real. Follow Rega that Chris on OnlyFans. I mean, on Instagram. And shit, my bad. But yeah, when I heard that bar, I was like, man, that's it right there. We want our grandkids, great grandkids, to have, everybody got a house, everybody got a car, and everybody got enough money in the bank to go out there, get your university level education, and just live a good life. Because we came up with half of that, if that. And it set us back, and we had to go through so many hurdles, just so many brick walls just pulled up, because we didn't have enough of the opportunity. So I guess opportunity will be the legacy for our children,
right?
For our kids, our nieces and nephews, for our people. If we can get that big, you know what I mean? Then for our people, that'll be something, Sorry, you trying to say something?
Nah, bro, because that's you just put something. One more thing, that's the real dude. Just imagine our kids and grandkids living a life like, oh yeah, I got my house, wouldn't that be beautiful, baby?
That'd be awesome.
Rather than just what we've been raised on, both my parents work 9 to 5, just building the man's empire. But if we can make that a normal thing,
because I want our kids and grandkids to still work a 9 to 5, work their ass off, and earn their dollar for themselves, for their own business.
For their
they own the house now.
Not building
they
these
own
factories and stuff, and they don't
the corporations and stuff, instead of us making everyone else rich. Because everybody comes through and taxes our culture.
Yeah.
And a lot of people try to make it out like we're the ones taxing. Nah, man, have a real good look at the system and everything from America, Australia, New Zealand, all around the globe. Gary, Pacific Island culture's been taxed and retaxed, and we still haven't got ours yet.
But who has our ethic? Who has our ethic?
Yeah, bro.
I think our ethic, when we put our mind to it, and that's the thing people don't understand. We don't make a dent in the population, but the impact we have as a people, that's what I'm saying. These kids, you gotta start being way more proud. Like pride on steroids, that we're that small as a people, but the impact rings. It's transcending.
Smallest percentage in the overall population, but one of the biggest impacts, if not the biggest. But we also have the highest prison rates, the highest suicide rates. We ain't magicians, man. Like people expect so much from us, and I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of it. Give me a roll, Oscar. I better get out of here, man. Hey, the homie's up next. If I can say one thing before I say something else that I don't know what I'm gonna say, it'll be this: can we stop giving passes to haterism?
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden social media done made it cool to be a hater. If you're not 50 Cent, I'm not messing with you. 50 Cent, he's 50 Cent. Everybody else trying to be a hater and mock people. There's a culture of mocking that stops a lot of good brothers from being out there and putting themselves out there and being confident in who they are. Maybe they got trauma, maybe they're just shy, whatever it is.
Oh,
All that mockery shit, throw it out the window.
You gotta
Because
fix.
most of you guys still live at home, you know.
Yeah,
like
nah.
you're just like us. Like ain't nobody different. Like everybody's, you know, we all the same. So why are you trying to mock somebody and pass jokes?
And that's exactly
Normalize giving a high five to your Uso or something.
That's it. Stop projecting your insecurities at somebody else and go and fix it so you can become secure and just help build the community. Be a high fiver, man, not a Ricky.
You know what I mean?
Like
100%, man.
Like-
man, we've done that too much. It's been going on too long, and like legit, we need to start making them the minority because I feel like it's the majority in our culture. I think we're just normal like that, but.
Remember
Like
the
we
way it
said,
used to be?
normalizing it. We've normalized all the negative stuff, but we have not normalized the things that's gonna take our people. That
Yeah, that's true.
so
Spot
let's
on,
start doing that, man. Because it's not an overnight process, but I do know that, like, basically from this family, we're pushing for that, man. I sincerely say that, man.
Yeah, it used to be like you weren't allowed to be a hater and talk down on somebody. That was seen as like, you know, a low life, like how hood people would see snitches or, you know, rapists or something like that. And now it's like the coolest thing you can do. And everybody that hates gets a retweet, gets a like, a share, a follow, gets praise for it.
Yeah.
And then right after that, that same hater will post something, hey guys, it's Mental Health Awareness Week.
But that person doesn't do anything for the community.
Like,
That's
bro,
my thing.
like
Those people are just All right, but
No, please,
love.
love to everybody on Twitter.
100%. Also, hey, just thank you once again, Poetik and Biggs, for your time. I really appreciate it also, and for the nuggets. And in terms of like what Jay was saying, in terms of legacy, hey, I love the fact you were saying, hey, your kids will carry on the legacy. They will know you and your works and their grandkids and their grandkids and their kids. And so, guys, Maro lava tau iwi also for the work you guys do. And guys, keep doing it. And for those guys who troll and who do the negativity, bro,
God bless you.
God bless you. And
God bless you. You still the Uso. We love you.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes.
Honestly, first time being on here, bro. But nah, man, thank you, man. You guys are the bomb. Mandate, man. To our people out there, if you're not on it, get on it now.
Shout out,
Support the
boys.
Usos. This is what it's all about, and this is a game changing thing for our people. So make sure, man, keep down with the Usos. Keep doing what we're doing, and Usos, man, keep making that platform for our people to just put it out there, man. Different side of life. I love that, man. Thank you, Usos.
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate you. And Bruce on the Prada on the mixer. My Lord, Uso. I hope we're doing all right. Yo, mouse.
I gotta ask you guys though before we leave. Is that a grape in the middle of the chips?
No. It's just a.
Because I've been wanting to like poke the grape since we got here.
It's just part of the ornament.
Can we burn it? Like, sorry.
My
bad.
But thank you. Also, hey, just before we kind of wrap it up, Biggs, is there anyone that you think of that could be ideal to come on the podcast also?
Ooh, I mean, from your ways or our ways? Or?
Either it could be Australia or whatever, or someone you know in New Zealand.
Delta Goodriff. No, I'm joking. I'm honest, bro. I just have this mad 10-year crush on her. But nah, honestly, man, I think you guys have no trouble in that department. I think you are picking the right people, like from what I've seen. But if there's any,
Well, you
man, see
guys,
if you can get
you guys
the lady
girls on
prime
here?
minister of Samoa. If you could ever get that, man, I would love to pick her brain. Like, hear you guys pick her brain, bro. But yeah, other than that, yeah, bro.
Oh man,
That'll be a big one also.
Thank you also.
Yo.
Oh, Jay, you want to say any
I
last
was going to
words?
ask if Poetik has anyone that came to mind.
Yeah, Periscope Bell, man. I don't know why, but you said come to mind and she came to mind.
Man, that's
Yeah.
nice. Well, Paris.
I've been such a big fan of hers like since the beginning. Like, man,
Bro.
she was sorry, was that? Nah, just like, you know, a beautiful islander girl out there creating opportunities for people and just running the culture where it's at. Like, she's right on the front lines of everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it's inspirational. That, yeah, man, I can't even say it properly, but yeah, shout out to the sis.
You got
Much
this,
love.
brothers.
Like,
You got this.
keep on with it.
They're coming.
Hey, Big Zero that comes on the show also or the podcast, we always give them a gift. We will do a bit of a sketch, a bit of a caricature. What? So on behalf of the Mandate team also, this is for you.
Oh man! Oh, sorry, man. Oh, shit! Oh, sorry, man. Oh man!
Thank you so much.
Man, honestly, bro, I didn't expect this in the slightest.
Oh man,
I love it. Boy.
Yeah, more than welcome. Tele love also. Me, thank you for your time, and also for our co-host. Also, this is for you. You are an honorary mandate guest. Also, Poetik. It's always good to see you. So thank you once again. Also,
Oh, thank you, bro.
man, this is for you, my friend.
Oh shit!
For you.
Oh shit!
Thank you so much.
Yo,
Thank you so much.
Man.
Thank you, bro. I will cherish this for the next half an hour.
Bless you. Say that. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate your time once again. Thank you.
Appreciate you,
Love it.
Marshall.
Oh, that's yours. That's yours.
Ah, man.
As usual. Also, please like, subscribe, comment.
Like,
please.
subscribe, follow the Usos, support the Usos. Let's get this mandate on Drink Champs level. Sorry, Drink Champs, but we're not trying to.
American Honey.
Yeah, man. Let's stay. Like, if we're really gonna be about our community, people, let's get behind each other. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Any up we go from. Thank you, Usos, man.
And as always, Jay, what's up?
Our mantra is refine,
Unlock,
and take charge.
Mandate.